hello everyone. Welcome to the August 6th webinar Wednesdays at noon Eastern time. My name is Anthony Matthew. I'm your host, and I'm going to walk you through some new changes and how to feel great about this market. So the very first thing I want you to do is go to the Solar Pros tab and click on the 2025 calculator. We've unlocked this calculator for all users. So now you can use it. We understand that paying a subscription fee at this time is a little tough. You will need to have a subscription to the Phone a Friend pre-sale phone consultation in order to book a call and have your client speak to us so we can explain those extra solar incentives so that they can feel really confident about their purchase. And this is how you use the calculator, okay? So you have your homeowner information here, which you'll type in. We need accurate homeowner data because we are offering tax advice to these clients at a discounted price. So they're gonna definitely use this information to make their purchase. Here you're gonna type in your data just one time. And then the very first thing we're going to check is if that homeowner is in an energy community zone. So we'll click on this link. It takes us to the Department of Energy's website. We're basically using commercial solar incentives on a residential solar system. So they qualify for this extra 10% energy community area. You can type in an address here in the search bar. And as you can see, the majority of Texas is covered. The majority of the country is covered. Almost a third of the country is in either a pink or green energy community zone, which would qualify for an extra 10% tax credit. So if that's the case, you'd click on this box, 10% energy community tax credit zone, and they would qualify for that extra 10%. Here, if you're using domestic equipment, now Enphase has come out with a manufacturer letter saying that their battery is domestic, so you can click there as well. If you'd like to email the report to the homeowner, I usually wait until after I've dialed in the numbers. You can also email it to yourself. This would be including the energy banking report, which is a second report that I'll share with you in a minute. And then once the client purchases solar with our solar incentives, we need to send them a welcome call. So you'd click this button here. So very simply, you're going to type in the solar system cost. Let's just say it's 50,000, and you're going to ask the homeowner, how do you file your taxes? Are you single, head of household, or married filing jointly? And then some of the incentives are tied to your income. So if I may ask you, roughly speaking, what's your adjusted gross income estimated to be for this tax year? You know, let's just say it's $100,000. Okay. So if you're in Illinois, you can click this button and add in some extra incentives here, but let's just keep it simple for now. You can also, for the energy banking plan report, you can type in their average electric bill. Maybe you want to type in their average auto fuel bill and what their inflation rate is. This is all good stuff. And let's say, you know, you're going to get them a lease for $175 a month. And we're going to go ahead and click this button here. Sometimes you have to double click it. And here you have the solar tax max output. So Mr. Homeowner, you have a $50,000 solar system, but you're going to get refunded back a 30% investment tax credit from the IRS. You also are going to get a 10% domestic tax credit because you use domestic equipment. You are in an energy community zone, so you're going to get a 10% energy community tax credit. You get a tax deduction benefit, so that's going to be another 9%. And so all of these incentives total 59% refunded back to you in the form of income tax incentives. So your $50,000 solar system is just going to only cost you $20,000. Okay. If you have any questions, I'm not a tax advisor, but I can go ahead and get Solar Tax Pros on the phone. Let me just go ahead and book a call. Remember, there is a retainer fee if you haven't used our services before. We can talk about waiving that retainer fee for people who provide us lists of their past solar clients so we can help them collect extra solar incentives that they definitely missed. and help them get that extra money back so you can use it to potentially sell them a new solar upgrade, like a battery reimbursement or some extra panels now before time runs out. I also have this energy banking numbers. So this is the cost of doing nothing, Mr. Homeowner. You're going to spend $4,800 in electricity, and those prices are going to rise. And so in 10 years, you're going to spend $61,000. Or I could lease you a solar system and you'd pay $25,000. Or you could take your solar savings and invest it in a investment account earning, let's say, 12%, and you could have $113,000 saved in your bank account. Which column is best for you? Now, this is a summary of these numbers down here below, so you can play with these numbers and see it's line by line by line each year, all adding up. So this is the numbers illustrate very nice when you pay off your solar system early and you start banking those tax credits. We call that energy banking. Now, again, if you want to send that report to somebody, now that you have it all dialed in, you can click yes, send it to the homeowner, yes here, and then hit submit again, and it will send it directly to the homeowner. If you're in Illinois, you want to click on these extra solar, show Illinois incentives here. Give me a second, it's populating. And then you can put in here the solar system size, the battery kilowatt size, you get some utility rebates there, and then how many sun hours are you going to get estimated, and then that gives you the SREC amount. Now, this is an estimated SREC. This doesn't include some fees taken out for processing the paperwork, so you do want to get that and override this number down to the correct number so that you're providing correct illustrations. Then you hit submit again, and as you can see with this homeowner, with the Illinois incentives, they're getting 91% of the cost reimbursed back to them with the state SREC, inverter, and battery rebates. So becomes a no-brainer in Illinois. So that's how you use this new calculator. We just added the 10% domestic content tax credit. And, feel free to reach out to us. If you have questions, hit the Let's Talk button. And if you want to have your homeowner speak to us, they would use this. If you want to speak to us directly, you'd use this button. And then this is the pre-sale phone consultation, the phone a friend, which, requires a small retainer, but we think it's well worth it. We have thousands of customers using our calculator every single month, and everybody loves the service. We got plenty of Google reviews here, and we're happy to help. We also file the taxes for an additional fee. So our fee for Solar Tax Max is $2,000. That comes with a written tax plan with all of the IRS forms completely filled out so that no mistakes are made. And then they can file their taxes, or they can use that to hand it to their CPA, and then their CPA can file their taxes correctly. Their CPA won't know how to use this because this is advanced tax planning done by energy tax law attorneys from our sister company. So we're here to help. Now, if the client would like us to file the taxes, we're happy to file the taxes. We do that for an additional simple tax filing fee of $500. And so you could build $2,500 into the solar plan. When you get installed, you go ahead and when you get your commission, you go ahead and pay us, and then we get to work with the client. So we're actually, working up front to work with your client and share these extra solar incentives with them on the phone a friend pre-sale phone consultation. Now, a little bit below the calculator, you can see here, if you'd like to zap your data from your CRM directly to the calculator, you can click here and you can download a Google Chrome extension right here. And so when you're inside your favorite CRM, you can zap it right into the calculator and it pre-fills out all the information. You can click this button and download a little sales guide. We have a little short script for you here. And this is a more detailed video on the energy banking tutorial, and a little script there for the energy banking questions, which really do help sell solar. It's Solar 2.0. making a monthly payment doesn't really make sense over 25 years. The bill swap is kind of dead. EnFin just got rid of their 3.99%. They're up to 10.99. The best bank we've seen is Climate First Bank at 7.5% interest rate with no dealer fee. People are moving more to leasing, but we think leasing is actually a terrible thing if you are paying income taxes, because you're going to want to own this system and get the majority of that money reimbursed back to you, right? So we also have some articles here. We have the Solar Rep introduction page where you can learn a little bit more about, taking the course and joining our ecosystem, right? You could watch the videos over here. We have a ton of videos that I made. We have the Solar Incentive Guidebook for homeowners, and then leasing versus buying. So here is where, we make the case study that leasing is a terrible idea if you're paying income taxes, right? You lose control of the system. Your service warranty may go out of shape, like Sunnova just dropping the ball on everybody, right? Who knows who's next? And so at least if you own your system, you can, fix it yourself and not have to worry. Then also, nonprofits have a nice little opportunity there, and some roofers. So if you want that Chrome extension, it's over here. A little bit about us. Solar Tax Pros is a tax consulting firm for the solar industry. Got a decent little video over here. And then we're here to help maximize these solar incentives for the commercial and residential space. Essentially, we're applying commercial solar incentive to the residential homeowner. And the reason we're doing that, many of you ask, and why you've never heard of this, is because there's a net metering agreement, right? And it's a contract to barter energy with the utility company. And that contract is a business contract, right? And so when you have elements of a business contract, there are reasons why you can qualify as a residential homeowner for the commercial solar incentive, which is the 30% tax credit, the 10% community tax credit, the 10% domestic tax credit, and the tax deduction benefit. All in all, that could total up to 80%. Then you might even sprinkle on some state incentives, state tax deductions, and then you got your state SREC maybe, or your utility rebates. And all in all, you could be near 100% reimbursement in some cases for high income taxpayers. So, we're here to help you maximize these solar incentives, right? We work for you. This is my team right here. I'm Anthony. Nathan's the president of the company. This is our financier. This is one of our advisors. Both of these guys are like, creme de la creme in the business world industry. Again, we have plenty of Google reviews here. I think there's over like 50 of them now. And we don't really focus on asking for Google reviews. A lot of people don't want to, share that they got as much money back from the IRS as they did. So Google reviews are a little low. And, we're here to help you maximize your solar incentives. I have a testimonial page here. Testimonials are strong. They're real videos of actual reps and homeowners that, tell us great things. So we're here to share the information with you. I will say this right now, you don't have to worry about the 30% going away. You should not run, because we're waiting on some IRS guidance. But if we're thinking what we think we are, the commercial solar incentives are going to still work for the residential homeowners, and you're going to have to use a STEN, right? Because we're the only game in town that does this extra, qualifying benefits at an expert level. So, we're here to help you stay in the solar industry and maximize what's going on, right? The government's going to continue to reward people to invest in solar. We got a bunch of frequently asked questions here. We got some homeowner problems versus solutions. And, we're available to speak to help you get these extra solar incentives. So we look forward to speaking to you. We urge you to use the calculator on every deal. You should use it on past deals to see if people qualify for extra solar incentives. You should get us on the phone if you're on retainer with us, so that we can speak to your homeowner. we really do make the buying transaction much more palatable and comfortable, and very happy clients when they understand that they're speaking to a tax professional, that they're really going to get these solar incentives back, and everything's done for them, so no mistakes are made. Again, we can also file the taxes for them for an additional small $500 simple tax filing fee, and everything is done for them. So we look forward to having you use the calculator and reach out to us individually so we can connect with you. Okay? Have a great day. Thank you.